Hello and welcome to yet another video here on this channel. It is time for another productivity news video, and there has been quite a few things happening in the productivity space lately, but in this video I will cover a few of the news that I found really interesting, which has happened in the few past weeks or so, and I haven't been able to film too many of these videos lately just because there has been so many apps and so many things to cover, but we are doing one right now. So some of these news might be a little bit older. You might have seen them already, or you might not. It all depends on how much time you spend actually worrying about productivity applications, which for most people isn't a lot, but for me it is quite a few hours each week. So let's jump into Milanote. So Milanote is this whiteboarding application that a lot of people love. It is mainly for people who work in creative fields because it does such a good job with different file types, color swatches, and a lot of other different things as well. That is why a lot of people love this application. But it has had one huge issue, and that is the mobile application, which has been terrible. That is something they are trying to fix right here. So if I jump into their Instagram, they actually previewed it right here because there haven't been any releases, but as you can see we are getting a full on actually mobile application. We haven't had that previously, so previously it hasn't been this 3D whiteboard thing, or 2D whiteboarding thing. It has been more of like just like a document, so things have just been underneath each other. So that is an amazing thing they are actually fixing. So they will be releasing more behind the scenes videos as they develop it, and there haven't been any mention on when this application will be out, but it will be out, and it is rebuilding for Android mobile, Android tablet, iPhone, and iPad apps. The iPad apps actually work quite well as of right now. It looks really similar to this. I think there are some minor differences. The first one being that Quick Notes is not available on the iPad app, but I have been using the iPad app quite a lot with a stylus, or with an Apple Pen. And Apple Pencil, it is probably called. Anyways, it has been working quite well. So I really like this new mobile application. I think this is a major step for Milanote because the application has been a terrible experience on the phone. Like here, it is a really beautiful, a really fun experience. I can easily drag things back and forward. It is an amazing experience, but on the mobile application, none of this actually exists there, which makes it a terrible way of doing of taking notes. And the other thing I'm hoping they will fix is like if these tasks can be consolidated somewhere, because I think that Milanote right now is getting some competitions with the likes of things like X Styles, for example, which I think is going to a place where it feels a little bit better. So I'm glad that they are finally fixing the mobile application, which I've deemed to be useless for a while now. Next up, we have Reflect Notes, which is a really fun experience and has been a great application. It has everything from tasks to notes to like being able to backlink your notes and create a graph. A lot of people misunderstand this. They call it like a clone of something like Obsidian, and you could just use Obsidian instead. But the point of this application is that it is much simpler than something like Obsidian, and it also integrates a lot of AI without having to use plugins. But they have recently added something new that is really, really cool. And just keep in mind that this application right here is tailored more towards iPhone and Mac users. There is no Android application, no plan of an Android application. You can use the Android web version, but it isn't a really fun experience, so I wouldn't recommend it. So this application is quite honest about being a an iOS first application, Apple first application, but they have released image and PDF OCR for text, and OCR is optical character recognition. So let's say you've written something by hand, it is actually good enough in many applications to even understand my handwriting, and if it understands my handwriting, it probably understands everyone's handwriting. But if you are like me and you take a lot of notes by hand, you actually can now add these, and they will be searchable within your Reflect. And this also works with the AI chat that it has inside of the application. So you will be able to take handwritten notes and then take a picture of it, put it inside of here. The same goes for PDFs. So I actually track my trips and my flight tickets and things like that in my note-taking app, and having the ability to search for them would be great. So that is a really cool new feature that they have added. You will need to turn on Reflect Labs, and this only, as of right now, only works on new images and PDF files added. So I am filming this on November the 30th, so things might have changed. I'm not sure when this video will be out, but things might have changed by then, because they are rolling out OCR for existing images and files in the near future. So as of right now, they don't work on images you already have within the application, but they will. I have talked about Reflect being terrible at like files, images, PDFs, things like that, and that is why I a couple of years ago abandoned this application. That was when it first came out, because I am quite reliant on images and being able to save them. But now that this has OCR, it is getting much better. But that doesn't mean that I will switch back, because I have so many notes and I can't take switching one more time. They are looking to improve the performance of the mobile application. That is next up, which is really important for Reflect, because they want to be the founder of Reflect, I think, said that they want to be as fast as Apple Notes. Not that it will happen anytime soon, but that is like the goal. They want to be the fastest application for capturing on the phone. So last up we have Craft and Craft collections. This was actually so good that I, especially with the discount, the Black Friday discount, that I just ended up purchasing it and moving into it, because I have a Mac and I have an iPhone, and that is mainly what I use to do writing when I'm on this Windows computer right here. That is mainly for either gaming or for filming, because it is much better for that, and I get two screens. So having an application that works that good on the mobile app, like this collections and tasks, which has been the thing Craft has been missing, because I could never do project management inside of here. So I rely heavily on my note-taking application to keep my social media videos under control. You can see that I have quite a few lined up here. And to keep all of this under control takes a lot of time and effort, and I need a good system. And that is where these databases come in. So they have recently added databases along with great task management. So I can open up my task management here. They have added that as well, which I am really happy about, because it makes it much easier. And I wouldn't necessarily have this or recommend this setup for anyone else, but adding databases has made my project management, and in general I use databases for a lot. I like the idea of databases, and this experience with databases right here is probably the thing, especially on the iOS app, which I mostly use to capture things. It feels like what Notion was supposed to be. That is the best way of describing it. It feels like what I wanted Notion to be on the phone. It is so fast, so easy to use. It feels native, and that is because it is native. It is just an amazing experience on the mobile application, and this is actually a part of Craft 3.0, which released collections, task management, and a bunch of different things, like 100 unique things they've added to the application, and You also got things like style, so you can style a document. I won't do that right now because I actually like the style, but I have had a couple of documents I have styled to make them look better. And in general, this is probably one of the biggest updates in the note-taking and productivity space this year. This is also really Apple centric with an iOS app and lacking an Android application. They have said that there will be an Android application at some point, but we don't know when. But this has a Windows application. I've never used it. Or actually, I think I've used it once or twice, but I haven't really used it. I mainly use the web version when I'm at work and have a Windows computer there, or if I'm home, I just use my Mac or my iPhone. But this this is probably the biggest release this year, unless MEM 2.0 gets better than this. I think this will be the biggest release of the year. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. As usual, thank you so much for watching today's video.